First day of intermittent fasting is almost over. I'm on my main big meal of the day now, and all I can say is I'm glad I'm intermittent fasting because I get to eat this. Sweet potato, turkey sausages, fried onion, peas, there's grated cheddar cheese in there and the mash as well, and then you top it off with some of this. This isn't just any food. This is James's food. Oh my god. And that comes in at about 1,300 calories, which is actually 200 calories under my calorie deficit that I would be on a normal diet, except I would be in broccoli and green beans and boring brown rice and chicken all day. Okay, so I'm at the end of my first week of intermittent fasting. It's Sunday, so tomorrow will be the start of my second week, and I've absolutely loved it. And I've had great results from it and stuff, and I felt great. And so I want to let you know what it is and why I chose to do it and what the benefits are of it. But I definitely don't have an in-depth knowledge of intermittent fasting, and I would highly recommend you research it yourself on the internet or check out some other YouTube channels, because they're going to be able to probably tell you a lot more than I can. But what I'll tell you is what I know about it, and that information was enough for me to get started with it. So what is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting is fasting for a certain period of the day, and then you consume your food all within a certain eating window of a number of hours, and then you just go back to not fasting again, and then you eat again, etc. So the way I've chosen to do it is a general sort of way, which is an 8-hour eating window and a 16-hour fasting window. I generally aim, no matter what, to do 8 hours from when I wake up of fasting, because then, depending on whether you go to bed a little later or a little earlier, I don't want to count that sleeping time as the fast. Because when you really get the effects from fasting is while you're awake. While you're sleeping, your body goes into a more rested state, and it's not going to be utilising the fat and things like that in the way it would when you're awake, because you don't need the energy. So I generally wake up at 7 and I don't eat until 3. During this eating window, I split my calories into 3 meals, having the bulk of my calories post-workout. So I generally eat my first meal, which is chicken and broccoli. I'm having that crappy meal purely because I wanted to keep it simple. I didn't want to be faffing around with different foods all the time and each day. I just wanted to prepare a simple meal that I can do for the 3 days that I prep and go from there. So I'll break my fast with a low carb meal so that when I do my workout after that, I'm still low on energy, so to say. And then, because I save the bulk of my calories, like I said, for post-workout, which is when my body is most susceptible and sensitive to the calories and the energy that I'm giving it. So after having a hard workout, my body just really eats up as much of that as it possibly can. Then a few hours later, but whenever I feel like it, as long as it's within my window, I have my third and final meal. As far as macros and calorie counting goes, I've worked out my calories. They're on a deficit, so as long as I stick to that in that eating window, I'm still on a deficit, which means I'll still, in theory, lose weight and lose fat. all I have calculated is the protein I need per day, and I've made sure I'm going to hit that no matter what, as a minimum, to make sure my muscles are being spared because they're getting enough protein to stick around. The reason I chose to do intermittent fasting is mainly for the ease of it. It's so much less stressful because you haven't got to prepare foods and eat crappy meals all the time and eat constantly, as well as enjoyable because I get to eat foods that I really love eating, and I get to eat them in big portions, which is, again, is something I really like doing, eating big meals. Something that I also learned before starting this, which I was really interested and curious to see if it would, is that because your insulin levels, which is what's affected when you have carbohydrates and things like that, your sugar levels, your blood sugar levels, because your insulin levels aren't up and down and all over the place because of the different sugary foods and things you're having throughout the day, your mind is, and your brain is actually more focused and more alert, which I thought would be the opposite. I thought I was going to feel tired and groggy and things like that, like you would on a low carb diet. But the only reason you do on a low carb diet is, again, because, like I said, the levels are up, then they're crashing, then you refeed them and they're up again. But with this, you're just constantly in the same place and you're able to focus much better. And I've actually found that I've been so much more awake, much more productive, so much more interested in doing things productive as well, not just doing them like because I feel I have to. I actually really wanted to, and I really like that because I think being productive is something I struggle with generally. So I'm really liking that it's allowing me to do that. Something else that is meant to be a great benefit of intermittent fasting, and I really hope this is true, and this is apparently why you're actually able to probably make better muscle gains sometimes with this intermittent fasting, is because of your body being in that starved state. It produces more testosterone and more growth hormone. Something to consider as well in regards to why this diet might actually be better for you as a human is because we're hunter-gatherers. That's what our early ancestors were. And we would wake up, we wouldn't have food because we'd have to go out and hunt it and gather it. So we wouldn't actually eat until later on in the day. And then in the evening, that's why we always want to binge in the evenings, is because that's when they would be social. And that's where they would all be together and eat. And that's exactly why we feel the way we do generally. And that's why some people do skip breakfast and they feel a bit sticky having breakfast, because our bodies generally aren't used to it. It's just the modern day humans that do that, because we've got this idea of spreading our food over all day. So my week so far has been great, like I said. I've actually lost 3 pounds this week. And that's amazing, considering, over the last couple of weeks I was hitting 1 to 2 pounds. I didn't want to go much over 2 pounds, but when you start a new diet, you do tend to lose a bit more, so we'll see how that goes over the next couple of weeks. And when I show you after this some of the foods I've been eating for the week, bear in mind that I've lost weight this week and I've been eating these foods because hopefully looking at these foods, it will attract you to want to try this diet as well. I would highly recommend you give this a go, honestly. It's not hard not eating. Just try it for one day just to see if it's hard, but it's really not. Because during that time as well, you want to make sure you're getting lots of water in, which is going to fill you up, and also 1 to 2 cups of coffee during that fasted stage, but it's got to be black because then there's no calories, and coffee is also going to help suppress your appetite, as well as give you a little bit of mental alertness while you're adjusting to this new diet. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not 100% in agreement that this is the best way to diet, but I'm starting to really think that it is quite good. So give it a go and just try it, like I said, for one day and see how you feel. And if the fasting bit isn't that bad, give it a go for the week and eat the foods you want to eat while losing fat. It's so good. So yeah, I would really suggest giving it a go. So these are some of the foods I've been eating this week. These are the big meals, the 1,500 calorie meals I was telling you about. And hopefully some of these will convince you that this is the way to go. Okay, it is 7 PM and I'm about to have my second meal of the day. I had my chicken and broccoli as my first meal after the fast, which I had at 3 o'clock. So I fasted for 8 hours then from when I woke up at 7. And now I'm about to have the meal, which is the bulk of my calories, straight after doing my session. I had a heavy, really overtraining back session inspired by Mike Rashid's wicked workout. I'll post a link down in the description. So here we've got the classic, like I always have. The beef with egg, spinach, whole wheat noodles ramen with some chicken broth in there. We've got wholemeal bun, double bacon and egg with brown sauce, mullet rice, apple and some Pop-Tarts. That comes in at just under 1,500 calories and I am going to enjoy it. So my body has been starving for this food all day. I've just had a hectic back session. It's going to be so sensitive to the carbs and the energy and the calories and the protein that I give it now, that hopefully this 1,500 calories in one session is just going to get soaked right up and hopefully go towards some growth, as well as I'll be losing the fat then because I'm still coming under on my calories for the day. I actually get to look forward to eating. And the fasting period is easy. I don't know if it'll be like that for everyone, but personally I'm finding it really easy. And I think what keeps me going through that time as well is knowing the great food I get to have. Without further ado, oosh, this is 2 venison burgers, 2 eggs, beans, curly fries and tomato sauce. And I can't wait to eat it. And of course, you've got to pop these to get them running all over the place. See you later, I'm going to eat. So the weight loss is still going. And we're breaking boundaries today. This is my meal now after my chest session. It's only 1,000 calories as well, so I still actually need another 500. I'm not sure what I'm going to have after this. Oh, that is 2 Krispy Kreme donuts. 2 venison burgers, 2 Weight Watchers cheese, and 2 slices of bacon with some barbecue sauce. It's gonna be messy. Looks weird, don't it? So I wasn't able to figure out what else to have with my Krispy Kreme burger for the extra 500 calories, so I combined it with the last meal of the day, which was also 500 odd calories, and I created this. I didn't finish it, but just killed another back session and I had some of this. And I'm still on the diet.